So I'm working on the Waverunner GP1300R. This is a power valve model. I believe the 03 and 04s were power valves, and then 05 and up was non-power valve. I could be wrong. It could be a different year when they switched it. But the thing I'm doing here is this thing runs a little bit funky, like there's something a little bit weird about it. When I try to take off, it seems like it hits the rev limiter really hard, and then like at full throttle it also seems like it hits the rev limiter really hard. I mean, it gets up to speed, but as long as I don't pull it farther than that, if I pull it like wide open, it just feels like it bangs off the rev limiter. So apparently these things are really bad for cavitation, so I believe that could be some of the problem. But it seems like a bit more than that to me. And at idle, it kind of seems like it's not like a full-on misfire. It kind of like hiccups every once in a while. It's just like, I'll start it up and show you. But so I'm thinking it's probably something in one of the exhaust gaskets, you know, where the water is leaking into the hot side of the exhaust. I'm thinking it's probably in this one, but after closer inspection, I noticed that I messed up when I installed the D plate, which is this right here, this little plate, and that takes the place of the catalytic converter. I did not get that installed correctly because it's supposed to have the tab right there, but the tab is over here on this side. So yeah, I definitely messed up. I guess I was in too much of a hurry installing that. Fortunately, I'm pretty good at taking this pipe out now, so I can do that pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to start it up here so you guys can hear it idle, and so I can hear it idle, and see if there's any difference from fixing the D plate. And then when I do get it fixed, whatever it is, I'll have a before and after representation. Feels kind of like ring da da din din. I don't know, maybe that is a full-on misfire, I don't know, but I'm gonna mess with this stuff a little bit and see if that'll take care of it. This Waverunner down here for me to work on so that I can be closer to where Emily is, so we can sort of hang out while I work on it. She's just down here chilling at the beach. There she is, looking a little perplexed of what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna set you guys down. Okay, so I just want to say a few little things about what this is doing a little bit more. Obviously that battery is junk. It's like, I think the previous owner bought it this year, and you could tell that it was barely turning this over, and it's only been a couple days since I wrote this. So but yeah, that's neither here nor there. That was a super start battery, and those aren't very good. The reason, some more of the symptoms that I'm having is the top speed actually is there. It runs in the low 60s, like 62-ish, and that's okay. And the acceleration is really quite bad, but it just seems like it hits the rev limiter really hard when you try to accelerate. And also, when you're up the top speed and you want to try to go faster and you hold it wide open, it seems to just bang off the rev limiter. So, it could be that it's propped wrong or that it's got really bad cavitation, but it also seems like it idles a little bit weird, so I'm going to see if I can make that a little bit better. So, clamps loosened on the pipe here now. Now it's just a matter of moving it from the thing. And I'm just talking to myself. Now, if I could remember how to actually do this, that would be good. getting down to getting the D-plate installed correctly, but how I know that I messed it up is because this little tab right here should be, I don't know if you guys can see that, let me get it closer. This tab right here, that should be aligned with here. You see how there's a tab there and a tab there? That's where it should be lined up at. So I get this pulled apart and put back together correctly. So I'm gonna do all the wrenching off camera, so this isn't like, you know, a 45-minute video. Okay. Now these are fairly easy to put back together. You just gotta line all the tabs up, and I don't know why I messed that up when I put the D-pipe in, or the D-plate, I mean. By me having it in the wrong spot, it put this hole where it's not supposed to be. I don't know how that would affect it, but you know, I know that this is definitely wrong, so we'll try this, see how it goes. If not, I'm gonna try some other stuff. Definitely mess around with that pump, see if it's just cavitating so badly. But I would imagine this would do something. I'm not like a two-stroke engineer, so it should be going. That's how I got it messed up. I had it flipped over wrong. And that really doesn't change that all that much. I mean, put on there right. Alright, got that put back together. I have all the tabs lined up. Even the gaskets have that tab on them, by the way, so you can line those up as well. I hope that this does something. I'm actually not all that hopeful because, well, you know, as drastically out of place as I thought it might be. So, but maybe, we'll see. You know, when I do get this fixed and running right, that I'm thinking it's going to have way more acceleration, and then I'll probably want to get another time on the course with it, since the last time was with this poor acceleration, and that would really affect the lap time out there on the course. I put together, and I was cleaning up the surfaces and just inspecting everything, and I noticed that down here one of the water outlets has a piece of metal stuck into it, so I am going to get that out of there. I don't know how much that would affect things. That's just one of the outlets. I'll probably take this apart and just inspect everything in there and make sure there's no other metal chunks hanging out in there. Much for debris inside of here. I found this little piece. Can't even tell what that thing was or used to be. And then there's the one right there that I had seen before, which was why I'm taking this apart. But I think I might just pull the whole pipe back apart, blow some air through it, just make sure that you know, there's not a bunch of crap inside of the water jacket on the pipe. Back together, and I just wanted to show Jason doing some cylinder honing. He has a good look on his face about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is like the funnest thing.
Yeah. I don't know if that cylinder's going to clean up or not, but we're going to find out. Fortunately, it has inserts in it, so they are cast iron instead of the Nicocell plated type. So he can hone them a bit more. Alright, so I finished putting the Waverunner back together. I'm going to go out in the water and test it. I didn't really find any difference in how it idled. Seems to have a bit of a miss at an idle. And kind of in the mid-range it goes away. And at the very top it kind of comes back. But I did end up checking into the e-box. And I tested the ignition wires. And I also tested the ignition coils. And I found a loose wiring connection for the main power in there, so I tightened that up, and we'll see if that makes any difference. I don't really think it will. Alright, I'm giving this thing a try. Sorry it's a bit windy out here, but it is what it is. We're just trying to squeeze every last drop out of summer. A little test ride on the 1300, see if it's any better. It's not really noticeable, the misfire, when it's in the water, just at idle. But when I take off and at wide open throttle, you can hear it. It kind of sounds like it's hitting the rev limiter. Well, let's give it a shot here and see how she does. Okay, that was so much better than it's ever been. I'm kind of betting it was that loose wire in the E-box. Let's try it a little bit more. It's really hard to tell on this choppiness whether it's better or same, but it seems a bit more torquey off the bottom, and I think that's better. I think it still has the cavitation issues that these things have, so we might be playing around with that next. But I think I'll close it out there for this, because I just want to ride and I don't want to deal with taking camera videos anymore.